I am Sister Anita Dolores. Presently, I am living in Villa Maria House of Studies. I spend most afternoons in the Mission Advancement Office, where I make thank you phone calls to many people who generously support our community endeavors, particularly Camilla Hall and its renovation project. And when new girls enter our elementary Villa Maria Academy and have not received the sacraments of reconciliation and Holy Eucharist, I become their teacher, which gives me much joy. But today I would like to share with you some of my teaching experiences through my 66 years as an IHM sister and teacher. On February 2nd, 1948, I entered our IHM community, but I have to admit that I agonized over the decision I was about to make. I wasn't sure that God was calling me to religious life. Sister Alma Mary Joyce, my sponsor-to-be, calmed my doubts and my fears. I remember her saying, "Margaret, do you have the desire to become a sister and a religious teacher?" My immediate response was, "Yes, sister." She continued, "It is God who has placed this strong desire in your heart, in your mind, and in your soul. And I truly believe that you will be a sister and that you will become a teacher, a teaching sister." And so it happened, as Sister Alma Mary predicted. I have not, even for a day, regretted 16 years as a religious and as a teacher. I believe that we can all truly say that God has nurtured and cared for us through all the years as Catholic school teachers. After novitiate days, my first mission assignment was in Weatherly, a small upstate town. A small town, a small house, a small school, and only 3 sisters. The total enrollment of the school was 60, and I was to teach the primary grades with 28 students in all. My teaching skills were not the best, but I did improve, and I loved these precious little ones, and we all seemed to learn together. After 2 happy years, Mother Maria Alma sent for me. I knew it was a change, and yes, it was. Mother assigned me to teach 2nd grade children in St. Agnes School in Westchester. Then Mother informed me that now I was an experienced teacher and I could handle what lay ahead. St. Agnes School was about to become a small demonstration school where novices living in the mother house would come to observe teaching techniques. I wondered if I ever would have anything to offer. The novices walked to school every day unless it rained or snowed. And don't you think all the faculty prayed many a day that it would rain or snow? But things worked out well. The novices were anxious to learn, and they were also very helpful. Going from 28 students to 60 was challenging. The sisters in school were always helpful, and they were encouraging. Preparing 2nd graders to receive the sacraments was a privilege to me. 2 years later, another change took place in St. Agnes School. Because there was an overflow of 3rd and 4th graders and not enough in either grade to start 2 new classes, a double grade was set in one of the classrooms. Can you guess who was assigned to the double grade? Right you are. This was a wonderful year. The children loved it, and I did enjoy the challenge. Something very unusual happened the next year. St. Francis de Sales School in West Philadelphia met with the same problem, and so they set up a double grade, 3rd and 4th grade. And yes, I was transferred to de Sales. Because it was our community demonstration school, I needed help, and I really got help from all the excellent teachers in that school. I really felt as though I were on my way to becoming a teacher. 2 years before this, the Archdiocese had established a school for visually impaired children, St. Lucy's. Our IHM sisters were asked to staff it. St. Lucy's was located on a small street across from St. Francis de Sales, and our faculty was delighted to have mainstreaming between the two schools. And here's where I want to tell you about one of my favorite pupils from St. Lucy's. Every day when John McNulty came to school, he would open the door quietly, step inside, never saying good morning, sister, or good morning, boys and girls, but on every child's face there was always a beautiful smile because they learned to love John McNulty. John would go to the chalkboard, put his little nose against the board because he had pinpoint vision, and his mother had taught him to read. So everywhere he saw writing, he wanted to see how much of it he could read. Well, he'd read about a line in a minute, and then he'd turn around and he'd say, good morning, sister. Good morning, boys and girls. And they would answer back so beautifully, and then he'd take his place. But one day, Johnny changed his routine. When he came in, he walked over to me and he said, guess what, sister? I have a new baby sister, and she can see. There were tears in my eyes and tears in many of those children sitting before me. Then John just took his place. Sisters, probably like most of you, I taught in many schools, big and small, well-equipped with teachers' aides, and some schools with less. Very intelligent children, and schools where some of the children struggled. And occasionally, like you, I met with a difficult parent. In 1975, I was teaching 7th grade in Willow Grove. To my surprise, along with Sister Marita Edward, we were assigned to pilot a director of religious education program. Sister Marita in St. Anastasia's, and I was to remain in St. David's School. We both worked with all the children in the parish. Being DRE meant attending many workshops, preparing catechists, setting up meetings with parents, and becoming a resource person for the catechists. To be sure, it was an exciting project with much, much work to do. After 12 years as DRE, I returned to St. Lucy's School to teach religion to the little ones. What a treat. How these children wanted to know more and more about God. We had skits and religion bees. We had plays, and their parents hardly ever missed a production. I remember after one Christmas performance, one proud grandfather shouted, "Bravo!" and we all thought we were headed for Hollywood. With another enthusiastic IHM sister, our summer assignment was out of town in Deer Park, Texas. We were to set up religion education courses. We went to Arlington, Texas, Deer Park, Texas, to Dallas, Alabama, and even to teaching reading and writing to Native American children who came to class from a reservation in New Mexico. I never regretted for even a moment my vocation as sister and teacher. I thank Jesus, our divine teacher, for guidance in so great a church and IHM community service. And may I add just one special treat for you. We spoke of Johnny McNulty. Well, I told you I worked down in the office making phone calls. And one day, a few months ago, I looked at the list of names of people I was to call, and I came across John McNulty. I had always wondered where Johnny was, and he was living in Sunnyvale, California. But at that time, it couldn't be Johnny McNulty from our school. But I made the call. First of all, I got the tape, but I gave my own little spiel, and when I finished, I said, John McNulty, would you have been educated in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in St. Lucie and St. Francis de Sales schools? A half an hour hadn't passed by when John McNulty was on the phone. I was so happy, and so was he. He talked all about St. Lucie's. He talked about the lessons he had learned in both schools, and he was very happy, and so was I. God bless you, sisters, and thank you.